What's up guys, Doubtfull here, and if you have never seen one of my OverExplained videos before, basically how it works is I'm going to talk about everything to do with Lillia, the newest jungler that Riot has released, and by the end of this video you should know basically everything you need to know to jump in a game and start winning and climbing with her. So this champion is really unique, literally the most fun I've ever had playing League of Legends ever on this champion here. You can see this is my match history from today. We won like 8 games in a row. Well, we won 6 Lillia games in a row, and just every single game that I played today, even in the 2 games that I lost, I was the MVP or the ace, whatever you want to call it. So I just absolutely love this champion, and I can't wait to share it with you. This champ's got like a 45% win rate in solo queue right now, but I swear she's absolutely busted. Because her win rates are so weird on Lolytics, I don't really trust anything on there. So usually I like to use those stats to sort of back up what I'm saying. But today, instead, I'm just going to be telling you guys everything that I think, my opinions on this champion, from what I've played, what I've learned, what I know. So I can't guarantee that everything is going to be 100% accurate, but I have played, as you can see, 73 games here, plus a few on my main account as well. So I do know this champion pretty well, and I am confident in what I'm saying. I just can't say like for 100% that it's accurate. And other people are probably going to be thinking different things. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, I hope you consider what I'm saying. And feel free to leave a comment below and we can talk about it. But yeah, this is certainly what I'm going to tell you today is everything that I think of the champion so far. So first, what I want to talk about today is the runes. That seems like a really good place to start with Lillia. There are a few, I feel like I spoiled this by putting this first, but there are a few different rune pages going around for this champion. In my opinion, this is the absolute best rune page right now for carrying games. And winning as much as you see that I did there. You take Dark Harvest. Dark Harvest is incredibly easy to proc on this champion because of the DOT on her passive applies damage over time for 3 seconds, and it just makes it incredibly easy to proc Dark Harvest. You also have that long range ability on your E that can go across the map. So very powerful there. You have a cheap shot. You proc this very easily on the champion because your E has a slow. And you take Chilling Smite, or I take Chilling Smite, Eyeball Collector, because these kind of suck, and then Ravenous Hunter. I think no matter what keystone you use, I think you need to spec into Domination for the Ravenous Hunter. This champion feels very bad to me personally without any type of healing whatsoever. I think in her testing when they first created her, she actually had some sort of innate sustain in her built into her kit, but without that, she feels really bad in the jungle, in my opinion. Like once you get low, you're just low until you reset. So I feel like Ravenous Hunter is a must on this champion. And that is that. And then over here, there's sort of 2 secondaries that work on Lillia. I personally love playing Nimbus Cloak on this champion. It's absolutely insane. Really great for early game. Running people down like before you can like really easily get your 5 stacks going, like in your like level 3, level 4. And then Celerity just works incredibly well with this champion. She has so many movement speed bonuses going on that she just gets huge value out of Celerity. I know some people think that this is overkill taking these 2 because she already has a lot of movement speed from her Q, but honestly I think that's completely wrong. I think that this is I shouldn't say it's a must. I know it's not for a fact a must, but I think it's extremely powerful. It gives you so much safety when you don't have because you're not always going to have your 5 stacks running, right? So I personally love these 2 runes. I think they're amazing, and I think that this is by far the best runes that you can take right now. The other secondary option would be this. This champion loves having CDR. It's to spam that Q as much as possible, throw out E's, stuff like that. And then Magical Footwear is just kind of a broken rare, and it also gives you plus 10 MS, which is really nice. Now, as for the stat shards, personally, I really love CDR. Scaling CDR is kind of insane on this champion. She attack speed and she doesn't scale too well with AP, so like taking this isn't like a must by any means. And then attack speed does make her clear feel kind of makes her early clear feel a lot better. And it's possible. I've only been playing this champion in like Diamond at the highest right now. Well, I played like 1 Grandmaster game. It's possible at the very highest level, maybe you need to take attack speed or AP or something to make your early clear a little bit better. But I don't think that that's necessarily true. And I just really like CDR. It also has like far and away the highest win rate, and I don't want to talk about win rates too much in this video, like I said earlier, but yeah, this is my preferred rune here in the first row. In the second row, if I take AP, I usually take AP, Adaptive Force. It is kind of nice to have it. Give it a little more damage, speed up your clear a little bit. But you can also just take armor. You can go double armor if you're against like somebody with like a team with really heavy AD. Lillia has incredibly low base armor, so you do get a lot of value out of this. And then... or MR, you can take MR as well over here. If I take MR, I usually take this, so I have at least 1 stack of armor. Otherwise, you just get absolutely deleted in the jungle. But yeah, those are the starts that I usually go for. Now, the other rune page that I'm going to talk about, I guess we'll talk about this. Conquer, it looks something like this. You can also take this. I know that there is a challenger player in European EU East that runs this. I'm going to be honest, I literally think Conquer is complete trash on this champion. I don't know why you would ever take this keystone. I think it's literally terrible. I feel like you have to do this, but God, I don't know. I don't even know what that guy takes, to be honest with you, on secondary. But Conquer literally doesn't give Lillia any of the things that she wants. It doesn't give you any early game damage. Like, the AP you get from Conquer is literally irrelevant. I've taken this like 4 times total, maybe. I barely ever got any healing out of it. I know that you can stack it quickly, but it's just not good. It's really just not. Like, these don't really do anything for you. She has no mana problems once you get the jungle item. Triumph is good. Triumph is always good, and Tenacity can be good. And this is okay. It's not great. It just doesn't really... It doesn't give you the damage and the utility that you get from Domination. So, like, because we do this, we have to go into Domination to get this Ravenous Hunter. So then we can't get Nimbus Cloak, and playing this champion without Nimbus Cloak and celerity, in my opinion, is very bad. She feels very, very slow. I don't like this keystone at all, so I would not recommend that you take Conquer, though I know some people are a fan of it. I heard somebody say something about Fleet Footwork once. Don't take that. Very unnecessary. I imagine people who are taking Fleet Footwork are people who aren't very good at kiting their jungle and are taking too much damage, and to those people, I would say practice the kite, practice the clear more. Now, the other keystone that I think is viable, pretty much the only other viable one that I really think there is Phase Rush. For a while, I was only taking this. I think that this keystone is actually insane on Lillia. It's very, very, very good, especially if you're against a team with a lot of slows. It allows her to, like, if you don't always have 5 stacks on your Q passive. So it allows you to basically have 5 stacks immediately, like just Q auto, like, because I believe your passive procs counts as one of the abilities, so you literally just need to land an ability and then your passive hits them, and then you can auto attack or land another ability, whatever, and you proc this extremely easy, and it's very powerful. It also lets you spec into water walking, which is nice, just that much more movement speed. Really, really nice. And then you still take the Domination tree, in my opinion. I really feel like this champion doesn't work without Ravenous Hunter, and you don't get the Eyeball Collector, but that's not really a big deal because again, this champ just doesn't scale that well with AP. So that is it for the runes. I don't really think there's anything else to talk about. Nothing else would be good. I think we really covered it all. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the items now. Okay, let's go into the items here. You obviously start out with Talisman on this champion, and you're going to see the clear later, so don't worry too much about that right now. Early backs, usually I buy tier 1 boots and I get myself a Dark Seal a lot of the time. If I think I'm against a team that doesn't have too many divers and I can stay alive, this champion has really good survivability. Well, she's really good at surviving, let me say that. Really good survivability seems kind of weird. She doesn't have any innate abilities to survive, but she's so fast that it's pretty easy to pick and choose your fights and survive and get those stacks going. Jungle item is going to be Blue Runic Echoes. I've seen people talk about red smite on her. I don't like it. I think the chilling smite is really nice. It can help you land your W's, your empowered W's, and it just gives you one more form of escape and ability to kite. So I think blue smite's kind of the obvious choice. I don't know why anyone would go red, but there it is. I normally keep my warding trinket a lot. Sometimes I'll go blue, but I don't go sweeper too much lately. I don't know if that's actually right or not, but because I move around so fast and I don't take attack speed in my runes, I'm never really stopping to clear wards or anything. Like when I gank, I don't care if there's a ward. You essentially have permanent Moby boots on because of your Q passive. So that's the way I look at it. I normally stick with this, but feel free to do your thing. Boots wise, mercs are usually the go-to option. If they have no heavy form of CC or anything like that, you could think about going Ninja Tabi, but those are not really the best boots in general, and if it's not particularly good against their team, you honestly can just go Sork Shoes. This item isn't the best on Liliana because her main job isn't really to be the DPS of the team and deal damage. She kind of just wants survivability from her items, in my opinion. But yeah, that is an option. It's not terrible by any means. Now, as far as the AP options go, a lot of times, second item, I will honestly go tank these days. I really, really like it because, again, AP is nice, but it's not necessary. I find it really useful to be tanky and just run into teams and get those really high impact ultimates off. And whatnot. So a lot of times I'll be building like a dead man seconds or like an adaptive helm, something like that. That'll give me CDR and it'll also give me tankiness. But if you do want to build AP second item, that's perfectly fine. It does work and I have done it for a long time. In the past, a Liandry's Torment or Rallies is usually going to be your option there. One or the other. I really like Rallies when I'm into like multiple, usually like 2 Bruiser champions. It offers a lot of utility because your Q is an AoE slow essentially, and then your DOT like keeps the slow ticking on them. So it's very, very powerful. I think this item is kind of underrated on her, to be honest. And it also allows you, it helps you land your Ws, which is pretty huge, being able to hit those sweet spot Ws. But the Liandry's is really nice. She's already got sort of a pseudo Liandry's passive, but it's just really good damage because she's really good at applying it to everyone with her AoE, and she does have slows built into her kit, so she can proc that double torment passive damage without needing anything else, so that's really nice. And then I do build Medjai's a lot when I'm going tank on this champion. It's just free AP. It doesn't cost too much. It gives you mana. It gives you 10% movement speed when you have 10 stacks, which is really nice on her. Just all the movement speed you can get is really good. So that's pretty much it for the offensive options. You don't normally build anything else. I built Banshee's Veil in the past when I want MR. I'd never really loved it that much, but it is okay. And I also built Void Staff in one of my games recently, but that was because they were just heavy stacking MR. But yeah, that's about it. Now onto the armored options. I don't really think Zhonya's is very good on this champion. You don't really want to stop yourself in the middle of a fight. I think there could be like niche situations and niche champions where Zhonya's would be really good. But generally speaking, you're going to want to build one of these 3 items. I feel like Deadman's is sort of the default armor item. The movement speed, again, I say this a lot, but the movement speed is really great. Armor, HP, fantastic. Love it. Randuin's is really good if you're into multiple like crit heavy based champions. Caitlyn, Yasuo. Now there's Yone, there's Tryndamere. Champions like that. Randuin's is sort of superior to Dead Man's Plate. And then Frozen Heart is really nice on this champion as well. It gives you, well, it's cheaper than the other items, and it gives you 110 armor, which is kind of insane. It's like 50 more than this, 40 more than this. And most importantly, it gives you that 20% cooldown reduction, which is really, really nice on this champion. This champion loves CDR. You can't overcap on CDR if you take CDR in your runes. And you go this, so watch out for that. But it is very good. It is very strong. And it also lowers attack speed, which is kind of cool. MR options, Adaptive Helm is nice, obviously, against champions with recurring damage, like who spam abilities, Cassiopeia, Brand, stuff like that. Spirit Visage is good. It gives you 100 more health in Adaptive Helm. You don't really make too much use of the healing unless you have like a dedicated healer on your team, like Soraka, maybe Sona, someone like that. Then this could be like a stronger option. And then sort of this other option that's out here, it does cost more, but it gives you 15% more damage. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. It gives you 15% more magic damage. Now, the range on this is incredibly slow, and it's actually shorter than your Q, than like the outer ring of your Q. But it will empower your Ws, and if you get like a close range Q, which does happen, like that can hit. Like you can get value out of this. But generally speaking, I don't think that this is the right way to go. I never knew that this cost more than those. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the items. As like a last item, you can also go maybe Warmogs. Just getting tank is honestly really, really strong on this champion. But yeah, that's all I really have to talk about with items and runes and stuff. So let's just jump right into the game, and I'm going to show you guys how I carry on this champion in Season 10, OverExplained. All right, guys, back into the game. This is like a D3 or a D4 game. We are going to be covering everything that we're thinking about here in this game. I'm usually thinking about, they are like a pretty damage heavy team, so I'm thinking that I'm going to be building a defensive item second. I really want to go Adaptive Helm because I can sort of stay out of the range of Aatrox and Draven theoretically, but if I just get Fiddle ulted and nuked, that's pretty rough. And then also Corgi has some sort of longer range abilities. So I really want to go adaptive. And in order to make that possible, we really need Draven to not get too fed. So that's sort of what I'm thinking at the start of this game. Now I'm sort of guarding this entrance here. And Lillia is actually really strong level 1 because her ability spams. It's got sort of long range. And it also gives her movement speed. So that's sort of why what's about to happen here happens. This guy gets cornered. He actually takes the wrong route. He should have gone the other way. But yeah, he kind of messes himself up here. And then because I have this movement speed, I don't even need to flash. I just run this guy down. It's important to get those autos in. Now this guy ends up autoing. He ends up flashing. Oh, God, this is so dumb. The Fiddlesticks flashes right when my Q comes off cooldown. So unfortunately, I don't get that kill. The Draven just starts off with the double kill. So yeah. The goal of this game was to get Draven not fed, and then I hard inted, and Draven got 2 kills. So we're playing this game sort of from behind. Like, the camps have already spawned, and we're not there. And we're going to have to do this clear leashless. Fortunately, that's actually not too hard for Liana. So I will show you guys how we do that here. But yeah, we're very worried this game. Draven's really fed, and they got some pretty heavy AP dealers, so it's kind of hard for me to itemize now. Wow, I didn't even do that clear super right, but whatever. You leash the raptors over, and then you start draining them with your Q, just like that. The talisman hits them all, procs your talisman, and you just slowly drain up. That's why I'm able to clear this red with pretty close to full HP. Wasn't overly well done, but it doesn't have to be too clean. There's little things you can do to make this clear a lot better. I almost lost it there. I forgot I did that. This is going to make me look really bad. Guys, I swear I'm good at this champion. Normally you don't want to smite your red like that. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but it's totally fine. We are starting a little bit later, so we've got a smite charge a little bit earlier than we would have had before. So we kind of needed to use one on a different camp anyways. But yeah, we land the sweet spot on both those Krugs there, which can be harder to do than you would think. But we do those. You want to make sure you're kiting that big Krug around and taking as few autos from that as possible. The more you do it, the better feel you'll get for its attack range and attack speed, stuff like that. And then we're just going to run around and hopefully dodge as many of these little raptor attacks as we can. All the while trying to keep our stacks up on our Q so our movement speed is as fast as possible. Normally I kite this the other way. That's kind of weird. I'm playing weird this game. But we're just going to keep kiting this, use our Q, make sure we get the sweet spot on the big one. And then we are here on the blue buff. And same thing, just kiting, autoing when we can. I hit that thing to try to spot out the Fiddlesticks. I honestly should have known, like I know what Fiddle's clear is. I should have known that he was on the Krugs, so I think I should have hit that the other way. I waste a little bit of time here trying to play around with this Fiddlesticks. He's level 4, I'm level 3. His solo clear is a lot faster than Lilia's. So yeah, I'm wasting my time here. He's got mid prio and top prio, and he's level 4 and I'm level 3. Like, this is dumb. Completely wasting my time right here. Fortunately, I eventually clue in and I just go to the Gromp. Don't be that guy that suicides for Scuttle Crab when you don't have prio in your lanes. Nobody likes that guy. I think, yeah, I still have my smite, so I'm probably going to smite this. I usually end up smiting Gromp. If you get a good leash, you can do a 6 camp clear, but the standard clear is like a 5 camp clear, skipping Gromp and going to Scuttle Crab right when it spawns. Alright, so we go ahead and reset. And now, I'm actually going to do something that I probably should have done a second ago. And get rid of Fiddlesticks. Alright, cool. Now we only have our vision, so that's a lot better. So I'm walking up here to do my Krugs. I'm getting there about when they spawn. That's sort of usually how this goes. I will gank top if I can. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll smite Scuttle Crab. Like, I'll sort of kite Scuttle to the lane I want to gank, and then I'll smite it and sprint into the lane with Nim's Cloak speed plus my thing. Okay, yeah, so let me back up here just so we know why I just did what I did. A lot of times here what I'll do, if this lane is pushed up, I'll try to get my passive stacks, my Q passive stacks on this camp. I'll throw an E, I'll W, Q, and then I see how low they are. So I've got 3 stacks. Normally I'll get 4, but this allows me to run up here with pretty high MS and get around them. So even if this was warded, we would have been fine. I land the E, which is nice, and then it gets a little sketchy because this dude came to lane with double longsword, but nice. We do get that kill, which is great. It's a huge shutdown. It goes to Caitlyn, which is nice. She kind of needs it since we kind of screwed her lane over. And we're back to clearing. Now, I did take a lot of damage there, so I want to make sure that I kite this correctly and take as little damage as possible. I honestly shouldn't have taken that big hit. I should have kited. I should have let it, let the aggro range, like, let his patience timer start going down there so that I could heal a little bit more and avoid that hit. The Krugs, man, the Krugs hit hard. But yeah, we're just going to drain this the same way and slowly heal up. We've got 2 Ravenous Hunter stacks. Not too noticeable at this point in the game when I don't have that much AP, but it is there. We're definitely healing a little bit from that. And we're just going to clear up. A lot of full clearing. I clear a lot on this champion. I don't know what is my average CS? I should check that. I'm not sure what my average CS is on this champion, but because she clears like decently fast and she just moves around the map so fast, you know, she tends to have very high farm. I got really low there. I never really sustained back up from that Draven's auto, so I guess I couldn't really do anything else. My Gromp did spawn, but Lillia doesn't do Gromp terribly well. Her single target damage isn't that high. So I base there. On the first base, I just bought Chilling Smite, I believe. Yeah, I just bought Chilling Smite. And I actually started with Boots after I got that first blood. This time, I buy the Fiendish Codex, which is really nice. I see what's happening bot lane, and so I was going to go do my Gromp, but I changed my mind and decided to go bot instead. I remember wincing at that auto attack there. That was pretty close. So I'm assuming that they're going to go for a dive when this wave piles up. That's sort of a jungler intuition that you want to develop. Jesus, what are these names? Oh my god. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, you want to sort of know what your teammates want to do or what the enemy team's going to do. So I know they're going to go for the dive or whatever. Really, I probably should have been walking this way, huh? I was going to go flank around them, but they go immediately for the dive. Thankfully, nope, I missed that. Well, anyways, I'm here. Maybe if I would have pathed a little bit better there, we could have saved the Nami. But we do trade 1-for-1 at least. So that's not too bad. Now, here's where I mess up. I chase this guy. I'm not 6. Like, I know Lissandra's here and she can help me. I don't know. I chase this guy, but the Fiddlesticks is 6. I wasn't expecting the Fiddle to be 6 already because I'm only like 5.5 at this point. But yeah, that was pretty bad of me. I blind chased the I blind chased the Sona, and Fiddle just ults into me. That was a pretty big int. So far, like, this game's not looking super great, right? Like, they're up by like, well, not only up by 600. That's actually not too bad, but we are a little bit worried. I've not had the best start. Instead of buying a mana crystal here, I just bought a null magic mantle because mana crystal is kind of not the best buy. Never feels great to just buy a mana crystal, does it? But yeah, I just go into position to start full clearing. They get first dragon. I'm a hard believer in not caring about first dragon, by the way, which is crazy because I always used to be like a slave to the dragon. But these days, I don't really care about first dragon. I don't think it's very important at all. So that's fine for me. As far as I'm concerned, he just wasted his time taking that dragon when he could have been farming and, you know, maybe taking Herald, maybe taking that Scuttle Crab top. Could have been doing anything else, like, more efficient with his time. But we'll see. We do notice that I pulled over the Raptors there so I could sort of sustain this. Second red can be a little bit annoying to kill when you don't have your jungle item yet. But we do clear it, and we do get low mana, but our blue is spawning. We're going to the top side. Now, one thing that I do prioritize more, I don't prioritize early dragons, but I do really care about Herald. So I typically play on the top side of the map at this point in the game. Now, that can change if I think I need to be bot. Like, I'm predicting that they're going to do something bot, maybe. But generally speaking, I really like playing top side. Now, I just saw Fiddle appear bot. I think it was Fiddle. It could have been an effigy. Honestly, I don't know. But at the time, certainly, I thought Fiddle was bot side. So right now, I'm thinking that I want to go for Herald. And I want to get the Scuttle Crab. I had 2 charges of my Smite. Yeah, that's why I did that. So I Q that to keep my movement speed, and I run mid. Let me back up so you can see what I was saying when I decided to do that. Because notice that I don't do Scuttle, which is pretty strange not to do Scuttle. But I see that she's really low. I see that she has her ult. And yeah, I see that they're going to go for this dive. So I Q the Herald to keep my passive stacks up. And I come into the mid lane. I throw out a knee. Fortunately, I land that. He has Cleanse, which apparently works on my ult. I didn't know that at the time, or at least I forgot it. But that's something that you probably should be aware of. And yeah, we get the double kill, which is pretty huge. The power of this champion. We were able to kill the Corgi. He was here and I was over here, and I killed him without even using my flash, just because we landed that E. Landing the E, it can be very hard. You kind of have to get used to the speed of the E and hope that they don't dodge it. It's actually incredibly easy to dodge. But he didn't want to back into the turret, so he just ate it and thought he would be okay because he had Fiddlesticks there. But yeah, it didn't work out for him. So we go to the Herald now, which is a little bit risky because I'm doing it by myself, and it honestly takes forever. You would think a champion with built-in like % health damage would be good at this, but yeah, she's really not. Aatrox walks over. Maybe he got pinged by his team. I don't know. That was a really bad W by me. You shouldn't blind W like that. It's never going to land, and it's just a waste of your ability. But we do kill him anyway, so that's nice. And I don't want to do Herald at this point. Ornn was walking to do it, but he's got no mana. Fiddlesticks and Corki are back up. I don't want to mess with that. I'm also sitting on like a ton of gold, right? So I'm just going to do this Gromp and then reset. I probably could have just reset. I don't know if I needed an item or something. But yeah, we reset here. Unfortunately, didn't get the Herald, but we got a lot of kills there. I think I don't know if I got that Ornn kill or not, but we did get the double kill mid. So now I'm able to do what I wanted to do at the beginning of the game and start building towards this adaptive helm, which is going to be huge for me this game. I do get the Mercury Treads, Ruby Crystal, and Null Magic Mantle, which feels very, very good. I can see that they're positioning for another dive bot side, so I'm going bot. I think I tried a Hail Mary and E out here. It's just not even close. I actually casted my... I believe I cast my ult there. Did I? No, I guess not. I thought I had cast my ult. I guess we just didn't care that much about Caitlyn. But yeah, we're able to shut down Draven again. We just keep killing him. So that's really nice. He was definitely something we were really worried about at the start of this game. My bot lanes played really well. They've managed to not feed after I sort of hard into their lane. And we've just been there at the right times, which is like a little bit of luck, but also just like knowing where we want to be. Like what the enemy team wants to do and where we should be. Oh yeah, let me back up here. This was a good play. So I clear this, obviously, and then I go to do Raptors, standard full clear stuff. And then I notice, as I pull up to lane here, I was looking at my mini-map. I wasn't actually watching this, but I saw that he boosted forward, so I was like, okay, he just used his W. So I just run mid, and I'm running mid with like 500 movement speed, like better than Moby's. So there's not much he can do. He's got no W. We just come in and kill him. Lissandra still had her flash. And then, oh yeah, so Fiddlesticks, we see a little bot, so I'm like, okay, time to try to do this again. His effigy was here, but we just cleared it. So now we're a little bit worried that Aatrox is going to come over, but this dude's dead, and they're all bots, so it should be fine. And the really nice thing about doing this, you want to make sure you never get hit by his claw. I mean, generally speaking, you never want to get hit by the claw, but it's pretty easy to avoid it on Lillia because of how fast she is. And yeah, we just get behind it, keep poking this. And then I'm thinking maybe I'll gank top afterwards, is what's going on in my mind. I don't know why. I guess I smited that because I'm about to have another smite. I don't know. It's kind of a weird smite, but I apparently don't care about dragon, which is totally fine. I think Herald's better. First two dragons, whatever. I land the E. Oh, God. So I land the E. I'm honestly making E's look kind of easy to hit this game, but they are very, very difficult. I mean, these guys kind of just aren't dodging them too. But yeah, I throw it where I'm going to go. And then this should have been a kill, but he misses his ult. I don't know. Whatever. So it's difficult for Lillia to deal damage to people who like have sustain, like Aatrox or like Mordekaiser. Because she doesn't do that much damage. Like her full combo barely does enough damage to one-shot a squishy. But, so yeah, the sustain's kind of annoying. So we aren't actually able to kill him, but we do get the full turret. That's an insane amount of gold. They get the dragon, but we've broken open the top lane, and we've just got a ton of gold for ourselves. Personally, I think that's a favorable trade for us. But yeah, and then we're just going to full clear. Don't worry, you guys are going to get to see some really cool team fighting in the late game, like how you're supposed to play this champion. But right now, it's mostly just being where we want to be. And, you know, looking for those ults, the long-range ults, stuff like that. What is happening here? Cool. Okay, so I'm just full clearing. It looks like I might clear... Looks like I might keep going here. I feel like I should probably reset, but we'll see. I mean, I guess there's no objectives up, so there's no, like, immediate need to get back on the map. So I might just be full clearing for an item that I want. Very possible. Okay, so it looks like they're going to dive. I imagine I skip my red here. Oh yeah, I accidentally countered myself. Oh jeez. Yeah, I remember deciding not to go down there because it looked really bad. That's rough. All right. Draven flash. We're just sort of messing around here. I believe I saw Fiddlestick's ult, so I'm not too worried about, you know, anything happening here. And we just base. Cool. So, we're going to buy Adaptive Helm, and then we get a Cloth Armor as well, which is nice to have at least something for the Draven. All right, this fight's actually really sick. So, I think this is the one. Yeah, so I throw out my E. Let's just watch this whole thing. So I'm coming up the lane. I see that stuff's happening here, so I'm just running straight at mid. I'm not going to my blue or anything because I see a fight's about to happen. You always want to watch out for that. And then I throw out an E just like straight up the lane to like hopefully hit this Corki. And the Fiddlestick's ult's in front of it. So I cast my ult here. He actually has Zanya's, so I time my W for when his Zanya's comes out, and he lands on a gate trap and dies. I've got the move speed, so I'm just... Thankfully, I was autoing that guy, or I wouldn't have killed him in time. The Draven would have healed him. So we get a kill there. Man, maybe that wasn't the really good fight. Well, there's actually a way cooler fight that happens later. So, yeah, not too much there to see. Not too many crazy mechanics. Just, you know, landing a good E... And autoing, it's important to make sure you auto while you can, especially if you have red buff like I do in this clip, to get those autos in while you're waiting for your Q cooldown. And we're just going to clear right now. There's nothing really going on. You know, they're resetting. There's no objectives for us to get, so we're just going to keep clearing as efficiently as we can. Now, when you have multiple Ravenous Hunter stacks, usually you want 4 or 5. You can do these two camps at the same time without getting too low. Some crazy stuff happening mid. I'm sure I'm aware of this. Yeah, it looks like I'm just going to reset. I believe I go for a Randuin's this game to because Randuin's, if Corki decides to build crit, we have another like damage reducer to him. The Adaptive Helm is 1, the Randuin's would be 2, and then this guy's also building crit, and we just want to avoid as much of his damage as possible. So I'm, again, fights happening mid, I'm coming up. I love seeing this stuff as Lillia, like fights breaking out when I'm like not quite there. Because she's very, very good at cleaning up fights. So I look for like the long range E, but nothing too much happens. Man, I swear there's a good fight coming up. Nope. Nope. It's coming. Alright, I land the E on him. I immediately cast my ult. And we go for full engage. Land my W. He gets bopped. Now we back out of the fight. Go back in. We're just going in and out. Notice how I'm just going into the fights and out of the fights. Based on my Q cooldown is when I'm doing this. And I'm throwing out E's whenever I can. We just want to play at our max range and land as many abilities as we can to keep our stacks up. And like that's how you play her. And I'm really, really tanky, so I can do stuff like that. You know, if I had built AP, like I would have dealt more damage, but I probably would have popped when I went in that very first time. And that's what building tank allows you to do. You do less damage, obviously, but you can last longer in those fights. You can see, like, I mean, we could have put up a counter. I probably hit like 7 Qs that entire fight. Our damage was pretty insane there. And it's the power of Lillia's E and her R. You're allowed to get those long-range picks onto the Draven like that. Very, very huge. It really just gives this champion so much potential. So much potential. So we're just going back to full clearing, you know, like we do as a Lillia player. Oh, wait. Draven is tilted at this point, and he's sort of suicide pushing bot. So I think we just take the free kill here. Nice. How many Dark Harvest stacks do I have at this point? I can't really see. See, we've got 18 Dark Harvest stacks, which is actually insane. It's so much damage. It's so much damage. She's looking kind of dead. So yeah, then we get the Randuins. Now we're just like ridiculously tanky, and I went ahead and bought a Dark Seal as well, which is sort of what I like to do. when I'm really tanky and I know I'm probably not going to die. Get those stacks. I throw out the E to try to fish for an ult. Don't manage to land it, so I probably just go back to farming, I imagine. We see Aatrox here. We can definitely kill this guy at this point, I should think. Alright, I get the 2-man Q, so I get the ult. It's sort of just, again, playing at max range. Trying to, like, take these guys, like, make them look at me, stuff like that. We managed to chase down the Sona. Draven is sort of suicide pushing bot again. You know, whatever. But yeah, it's just so hard for them to kill you. Like, I was in the middle of 3 people there, and they just couldn't kill me because my movement speed is just too high, and obviously I'm really tanky as well. And I'm still dealing damage to them and CCing them and stuff like that. So from there, I make the call to do Baron. This is how, by the way, if you're like gold or something, I mean, this is how you win. You can win like 10% more of your games just by calling Baron when you get kills and stuff. And it's really hard. Believe me, it's really hard. I've been doing an Unranked Challenger series. I know how difficult it is to get your team to listen to your Baron calls. But if you spam ping enough and you go and start it, sometimes they'll do it with you. So we do that. We make the good call here. Thankfully, everyone did it. Had a good time. That's a very, very good bubble from Nami, which canceled his ult and made it so it's not a 50-50 smite. And here's me just kind of messing around. She misses her ult because I'm moving really fast. And they just can't, I mean, they just can't catch me. He flashes. I just sleep him. They just literally cannot kill me. And I'm so annoying and I'm doing so much damage. And that's just the power of this champion. And this is just one way to play her. You can play like a full damage Lillia. I really, really like this tank version. You're just so annoying. You're so strong in the late game. I know a lot of people who build full damage just feel really useless in the late game. But if you're going tank, dude, like this champ's just disgusting. I use my W to give myself a bit of a range. Land the E for the slow. Get those red buff auto attacks off. Again, land another E, another slow. You just run people down. I mean, I was like, this fight started here and I ran them all the way down to their inhibitor. They literally cannot escape you. You're so fast. And you deal so much damage and you're so tanky. Like, this champion's absolutely insane. You guys saw my op.gg. Like, this was happening like every single game today. And maybe today was a little bit lucky. Like, I'm sure like not every day is going to go like that. And again, I obviously am like a grandmaster / challenger player playing in Diamond 3/4. So obviously I am smurfing, but I mean, this champ, she's got a 45% win rate right now in solo queue, but she is not a 45% win rate champion if you know what you're doing. So this is how I play her. This is how I think she should be played. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully this looks fun to you, because believe me, even if this champion wasn't that good, I'd probably still play her because she's so much fun to play. She's just so interactive. Weaving in and out of the fight feels like so much fun. You deal so much damage. Like, I literally love this champion. So please, if you're thinking about playing this champion, give her a try. Even if you're not, think about giving her a try. I didn't play this champion for the first week she was out because I don't know, she just didn't look that cool to me. But I absolutely love her now. She is one of my favorite new champions, and yeah, I can't recommend her enough. Lillia, amazing champion. Final score is like 11, 2, and 12. This was going to turn into a Leandri's afterwards. This would have been a Vegi's probably, but yeah, I mean, that's the game. Hopefully this looked good. I tried to pick a game that wasn't like a stomp by any means. Like, this game was not an easy win. It didn't feel like an easy win to me at the time. So yeah, that's all I got though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here or you've got questions, join my Discord. It's a really great and growing jungle community. We talk about jungle and all kinds of other stuff. So it's cool. Great times. There's like over 300 people in there now, so definitely join that. If you want to watch this Unranked Challenger series live, I am streaming on Twitch every single day. Definitely up to next week, because that's when next week's my last week of furlough. So I'll be on every day playing this, trying to get that challenger. Right now we're like Diamond 4. I think that's all I got for you. Yeah. Like the video, subscribe for more, and yeah. Peace out, guys. Thank you for watching.